Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently in this situation here, and we need to decide how greedy we want to be, because England might enforce peace here, and if they do, we kind of lose anything that we get here. So the question is, just how much are we interested in taking? I expect England to do a peace enforcement relatively soon. I want to see what it will cost to fully annex these guys. I don't think we're actually going to go for this, but I want to see what this would end up looking like. So this would be a peace offer value of 53. It would be 242.9 aggressive expansion. That's extremely significant, of course. And a coalition would potentially form against us, and 13 colonies and England would be the dangerous portions of that. So we probably don't want to take this. This would cost 1349 to core anyway. So the question is, just how much are we interested in taking? Well, we're interested in having definitely a connection out over this way. So this would put us in this position, where England would be at 55. That's actually getting really close. So this would have England be at 53. That would be 51. So something about like this or so. That seems interesting. So currently we can't get this because we don't control this fort. That's understood. We don't know where the enemy armies are, so we need to keep our two armies together. I say armies plural. They really only have the one 26k stack, but one of our 36k stacks cannot match up to their 26k stack. We need to keep our armies together here. But we know what we're going for in our peace deal, which is that. So that looks good. I think for the moment what we need to do is we need to head this way. And these guys are going to head in over here. We're looking to get this fort falling very, very quickly. Actually, it just fell. Beautiful. So at this point, would they accept this? Hang on, they would. And they have 24 reasons. So we can take like 700 gold as well. Or we could do war reps, which would probably be a little bit better. So we take that and like 400 gold. I think we get out of this immediately because we know that England is going to intervene eventually, and I don't think we want to take more territory than this anyway, even if we weren't concerned about that. Because of the aggressive expansion issues, 13 colonies will be above 50 with this, but that's okay. I think it'll only be for 1 year. So in theory, that's probably okay. We go for something like this. Now, it's going to require a lot of coring. That's absolutely understood. Let's send this demand. And that war is over. I did not want to be in that war long term. We were just sneaking in there to take advantage of England getting weakened. So that seems fine. I'm going to put these guys here. I'm going to put... You can come down over here for now. And is it this army? Yeah, it's this army. So we'll just put them like, I don't know, maybe here. So we're going to need to get coring going, right? And we have a lot of overextension. A lot of this is actually causing overextension, so I want to sort by overextension, and we'll just start going through this. And that is actually, we're able to get quite a ways through this. That's the most expensive stuff that we're able to finish up there. Now, we currently have this guy. He is Aztec, which is not an accepted culture, so we can't actually promote this. I'm wondering about accepting maybe... We could accept Portuguese culture here. That would be interesting. Let's do that, and let's also accept Castilian culture. Do we want to accept Aztec culture? Well, we don't have the diplomatic power for it anyway, so I don't think that's that big of a concern. Okay, so we're going to need to get these cores done. 13 admin power, huh? Okay, we're going to immediately get that started. That is every single core that causes overextension started. So that looks good. Now, I want to come in here and I want to drop our army maintenance down. We don't need to replenish our troops anyway, so we're just going to sit about here. We're probably going to take some attrition as we move around, and that is absolutely understood, although we got lucky with this alignment. So we're going to have these guys drill, we're going to have these guys drill, and we should absolutely mothball these forts. A lot of these forts are not going to be particularly useful anymore, and we should probably consider redoing our fort setup. But for right now, this seems okay. So our corruption is growing, and this is due to our overextension. That is absolutely understood. We can probably afford to root out corruption to this point. Yeah, that's not an issue. And from here, what I'd like to do is, well, we actually have a choice here. Our choice is, do we want to invest in our economy, which would be a pretty good thing to do, or do we want to invest in embracing manufactories? That's the other option. So that's definitely going to be expensive, 4,765.62 gold. I think we put the money into our economy for right now, to be honest. So we could build a single temple in Adai. That seems okay. And then as far as workshops go, there's only 2 that are considered worth building right now. Then we can do the same with great temples. The question is, how many of these are we actually interested in building? There are a number of them. But generally speaking, for great temples, I consider it to be worthwhile only if it is over 0.15. So that's only this one here in Mexico. So that means that we can get a manufactory constructing as well with that money. So we'll get all of that going. That sounds good. The next question is, do we want to further expand our military? We've only got 18 land force limit, but that's not the worst thing. So thinking about our current army setup here, we've got these 2 as like a northern army. This one is going to be sitting here. And then these 2 are going to be a southern army. So we only have like half of a central army right now. We could definitely think about bringing in another army here. So I'm going to recruit a unit of American guerrilla warfare there. That'll be fine. And our innovativeness is decreasing. Yes, I'm well aware of that. How are we doing right now in terms of our techs? Okay. 12 here, 1285. It's not great. We could promote this advisor. It's a viable option. I'm not sure we want to do it right now, but it's fine for the moment. So obviously we took a bunch of territory up here. We're connected this way now. That will weaken England a decent amount, and that's really, really good. How strong is 13 colonies? Okay, so they're not, like, tremendously threatening, but they're a little threatening, for sure. So that's noted. We will want to do something about that eventually. For right now, I don't think we want to do anything just yet. We need to get these cores made, after all. So let's sort by cost now, because none of these cost overextension. I just want to get them done as quickly as possible so that autonomy can tick down. And keep in mind, we're going to have to make full cores up there, too. We got a conversion finished, so we're going to get that done. Now, I would really, really like to be getting additional admin income here. Missionary strength, huh? That's actually kind of interesting. Those war reparations aren't as high as I thought. We maybe should have gone for the raw gold. Okay, I'm definitely thinking about hiring this guy and firing our current advisor. That will drop our production efficiency, and it's also going to cost us a lot of money. But we're going to convert much more quickly, and this is going to generate us 2 additional admin power per month. Is it worth that? I'm actually going to say no, now that I think about it a little bit more. So we're not going to do that for the moment. That is fine. We are going to need to recruit a new leader here. That is a thoroughly terrible leader. And we're going to enable army drilling. Okay, so that sounds good. How much money do we want to invest in this army? Well, it's not actually a lot yet. Our army force limit is still only 198. So that is noted. Now, we could grab our next Miltech by embracing manufactories. We could do that via debt if we wanted to. I'm not sure that we want to, but it is definitely an option. If we're forced into it by European powers, we definitely can do that. It's certainly an option. Okay, Sunrise Invasion against Castile. That's a cool CB. I'm a little confused about that because Castile is not actually... They don't have any coastal provinces anymore. So, or I guess down over here they do. Yeah, it's because of these, I guess. Sure. Well, that seems fine for now. Let's get another core going here. Looks good. So how close are we to capping our manpower? We're a long ways away from capping our manpower. Okay, so that sounds good. We've got lots and lots of time. We're going to be finishing up a bunch of buildings here. English Columbia is claiming Sinaloa. That's not surprising. I want to check in on something. What did I want to check in on? I wanted to check in on something for sure. Oh, right. Our agenda. Manufactory here. That is currently being built. Okay. So that is going to be done in 3 years. Well, like 2 years. 2 years, 8 months. Okay. Rounding is difficult. We managed to get another conversion done. These conversions should be going much more quickly now. And we can see we have a number of additional provinces that are going to need to be converted, which isn't at all surprising. These are currently Anglican, and we're going to have to convert those over. Okay, so that looks good. We're going to get some more coring going here. How much more admin power do we need for these? Not a lot, actually. Like 107? No, 127. Yeah, something like that. So that's really not too bad. Cool. We'll get another core going. And we can see these overextension causing cores. They're going to stop causing overextension eventually. We're losing our great power status. This is because we don't have manufactories. So that is absolutely understood. We're working on it by building manufactories. So I'm checking in here, 0.13, checking in here. There's a bunch of these that are actually available at 0.1. I'm going to consider these worthwhile to build, and we're going to do that. So we're going to get those going. That'll be fine. We're completing a bunch of constructions here. That is going to be continually strengthening our economy. Ah, we gain a stability here. That's actually really good for us. That will help our corruption. And we got a couple of cores finished, which is also really, really good. Okay, let's get this one coring, and then we just need 45 to get these all at least territorially coring. We can see we're approaching our governing capacity, and that is absolutely understood. So that is fine for now. I do want to check in on additional province investments now that we've finished up some of these constructions, and yeah, we can see that building additional workshops, not a terrible idea. That is certainly a thing that we can do. Here in the Great Temples, it's not so great. Definitely not so great. So let's get a couple of these built in here. We'll need 98 gold. We should be able to do that on this month tick. Okay, estate modifier is expiring. That looks good. And this core, let's get it underway. So that's all of our territorial cores coming through. That looks good. Regency. Okay. What's our stats looking like? Not bad, actually. Our air stats are kind of lopsided. That's understood. As long... Well, for 10 years, though, we're going to have these stats. And that's not terrible. I actually kind of like that. We can seize land. Do we want to do that? The answer is yes, but not yet. I want to let the noble estate drift upwards. So they're going to reach 50 soon. They're basically 47 right now. So that's going to take a little bit, but let's let that go. That looks excellent. We should be finishing up our coring on some of these. Okay, there's English Mexicans up here. That's unsurprising. Let's undrill these. We need to deal with that. So we're going to do this. We want to arrive here after the month tick. Okay. I don't know if we'll have enough morale, but we'll find out. Administrative problems? Okay. That's not great. 10% land maintenance modifier is rough. They just don't have the numbers. Okay. So that looks good. We're going to walk back down here. And we need 4,227. Noted. 500 ducats for all of this is really good. But it's going to put us in debt. How do we want to handle it? I'm going to take it. But it's going to be a little bit rough for sure. How much are we spending right now? 9.21 to reinforce. Okay. Get these guys drilling. Ooh, prestige and legitimacy. I don't feel like we need it. I'm going to lose some prestige here. So we're going to take a loan here. And that puts us up to 561. So that is obviously not ideal, but ultimately the base tax is probably going to pay itself off. It's 1695. We've still got some time here. So that seems reasonably good. English Columbia was building a spy network. We're at 35.5k here, and I'd like to bring these guys down to about there. So that's going to slowly reinforce this, very, very slowly. And the question then becomes, do we want to invest more money in our economy or pay off that loan? I kind of want to put the money into our economy for right now. We've got time to pay off the loan, and that sounds reasonably good. So we'll do that for the moment. We'll get a couple of workshops. There's a core coming in. That's very good. Okay, so as far as the nobility goes, we are currently at 48.65. Cool. We converted the heretics in Europa, and we're going to continue to work our way through this. There's a lot of these Anglicans that we're going to need to convert. That'll take a little bit, but we'll get there. Okay, so we're at 48, basically 49% right now. We're about 4 months away from being able to do a land seizure, and that looks good. There's a bunch of cores coming in all at once. Beautiful. So that is going to allow us to make these into states. However, not all of these are able to be made into states yet. We're not at our governing cap, but that's fine. Let's sort these by cost, and let's do from the most to the least expensive. And we'll just work our way through these cores. So that is what's actually going to boost up. Japan made a claim on us? That's a little surprising. Okay. That's rude. That's very rude. We've done nothing to you, Japan. They are upset just because they want our provinces? Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. Whatever. So we don't have a Pacific fleet, and that's going to make things interesting, for sure. Things should be a little easier against Japan than against Europe, though. So for now, I'm not going to be too concerned about it, but that's definitely something to be concerned about. Okay, so we're at 49.72 right now. 49.98. We lost a general, and that is this one down here. Okay, let's go ahead and roll a new one. Solidly mediocre. Okay, that's fine. And everybody should be drilling. Let's just make sure that they are. You're not. Get drilling. Okay, that looks good. Let's get a full core going here. That'll be wonderful. And we should be able to seize land now, right? 49.98. Okay, 50.24. There we go. Apparently that ticks on, like, the 25th. I don't know why. That's weird. But we're going to seize this land back. There we go. Excellent. So that boosts our crownland up to 38%. It's not high enough to be able to do a sale of titles. I'm not sure we want to do a sale of titles right now anyway. So this is reasonably fine. I want to check in on our production. 0.16, that's a good one. Okay, we've got a couple good workshops to put in here. As far as great temples go, not too much right now. That'll probably require us to get some manufactories finished, and we'll get there. So we don't have quite enough to get one of these manufactories built. Just waiting on that month's tick, we'll have enough. 489? Okay, we'll have enough this month's tick. A revolt, huh? We'll take the local autonomy reduction. That's fine. National unrest +1. That is expected. Waiting for this to come through. There we go. I wanted to get that started immediately. And we're going to make this into a state. Looks great. And 91 is the most expensive core there. Okay, noted. Well, we're just going to... Portugal rivaled us. Rude. We're going to continue to go through here. Okay. I think that we should probably consider, at this point, expanding this army. So that's exactly what I'm going to spend our money on for right now. So we're going to queue up 5 regiments here. And actually, I'm just going to spend all of our existing money on that. We're going to recruit up, because I feel like it's absolutely necessary right now with Japan threatening us, with Portugal rivaling us. I definitely feel like we need to boost our strength. So this is going to go to a total of 16. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So manpower isn't our shortage right now. It's cash. And this is relatively fine. There's a couple of cores finishing up. We can sell titles. We're not going to do that. I do want to make these full cores. That is how we're going to increase our force limit enough to actually be able to support this army. So that'll be fine, but we're recruiting up very heavily right now. Let's recruit 2 units of swarm cavalry and a unit of horse artillery. And we can make another state up here, which will put us further underwater in terms of our admin power. That's understood. And I'm just going to continue to core these. Cool. Okay, we completed the estate agenda. That is good. Local goods production modifier. Cool. And does that mean that we can also do this estate modifier here? That's going to be the case next month, actually. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. What do we get? A great temple in Chitimaka. Conquest, and a workshop in Aruba. To be honest, a workshop in Aruba would be pretty easy to do. And that's what we're going to do. So that would be down over here, and we would just look to... Actually, we're already building that workshop there. Beautiful. We don't actually need to do anything. That's already happening. So that looks great. We need to recruit some cannon here at this point. Okay. So I'm not going to currently... Yeah, there's that already completed. Beautiful. I'm not going to currently exceed our force limit. So that is understood. We're going to get 2 more cannon here, and we'll be right at that force limit, but I do not want to go over it. At least not yet. We lost our trader, and that is understood as well. Military access from Portuguese Alaska. Okay. That's not a very threatening war for Portugal, but I don't feel like they actually need access through our territory, but I'll grant it for now. And we can make another state here, which we will do. We do have a free advisor slot right now, so that is noted. This is diplomatic. I'm not too concerned about diplomatic. None of these are amazing, so we might just leave this empty for the time being. Ah, sacrificial traditions. Yes, we shall extract their heart. English Mexico was building a spy network. No shockers there. And I want to keep an eye on this. We're going to need that number to come up a fair amount. We need 11 additional here, I think. Or maybe we need 8. We might need 8. I think it's probably 8. So that's fine. We'll definitely get that as these areas lower their autonomy. So that looks good. Let's get ourselves a couple more full cores here. There we go. And that looks excellent. So, how are we doing over here? We can go up to 207 now. Looks great. Wonderful. We can also grab ourselves that mill tech. And do we want to do this? Well, the answer is yes. Grabbing manufactories would be amazing, but we just don't have the cash for that at this exact moment. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. That is going to give us new cavalry. This is a good time to do this and get those cavalry upgraded. So that looks good, and we'll get another core here. Wonderful. And we're, of course, increasing our income a fair amount here. So you can see our corruption is going down by quite a lot right now, and that is because we no longer have that overextension. It does still have that unbalanced research, which is not going to be great until we get this admin tech up. No doubt about that. So that's fine for now. I do want to core here. And we should be able to get this core done now. There we go. Now we just need 91 to fully core that. We're going to be converting for a while. We're just going to continue to go through these. We're at 96% religious unity, though. So that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. I want to check in here. Yes, we'll bump that up to 208. That seems wonderful. And this is going to be, yeah, we need 8 additional. Sure. So I want to check in at the autonomy up over here. 41%, 30%. Okay, there's definitely a lot of gain to be had over here. So that looks good. We need to get this finished That is of utmost priority. And of course, expanding this army would be very good. We're currently at the force limit. We need 8 additional horse artillery. But currently, we don't really have anywhere to put that. Now, we could absolutely build, like, conscription centers. That wouldn't be a terrible thing. But right now, I'm much more interested in building some cash earnings. So we're going to do exactly that. We'll get some of these workshops going and boost up our income. Perfect. Ooh, growth of the port in Aruba. That is definitely a good thing. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish this consolidation cycle, and we're probably going to think about attacking, like, Portuguese Peru next or something. Is Portugal still in this war? They are, but that's not going to last very long, to be honest. We might actually consider taking these Castilian territories. If we just took over New Castile, that would be very simple. Do we have a CB on that? We don't. We could definitely start building one. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to pull back this guy. He doesn't need to be there. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.